How yous all doing? I've been so busy. It's been glorious over here in the UK. That sounds a bit echoey, that. Can you hear us okay? Yeah? Give us a 5-5 if you can hear us. Yeah, that's fine. Happy Mother's Day to everybody out there who's around the world. It's not Mother's Day in the UK, but thank you anyway. How are yous all doing? Oh, God bless yous all. God bless yous all. Did yous like the looking glass that I put out last night? I've got more to come. Are you exhausted? Happy Mother's Day to everybody. Thank you. Well, we're going to delve deep tonight. We're going to look into the looking glass. I may try some remote viewing. I'm just going to see how the mood takes we. It's beautiful weather over here as well, in California. Did you like the looking glass? That's good. So, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you all are. Just wait for a few more to come on, and I'll get this. She's been out today. I might try another one as well, because I've had them all out. Hiya, Franco. Good morning in Japan. Oh, no. It's Mother Earth rumbling, isn't it? There's been lots of earthquakes last week. Rumblings. I believe so, Thelma. Is it Thelma, California? I believe they all are the ones who are high up in the public eye. I really, really do. I'm doing okay. I've lost my glasses, guys. Thank you. I went to the hairdressers, and I've looked and hunted everywhere, and I can't find them. So I think I've left them in the hairdressers. But never mind. Never mind. We can use something else. It's been raining in Switzerland. Wow. James done a 4 acres of moor and meadow today. Perfect grass cutting weather. Good God, that must have took you forever. Were you on one of them, like a proper, like an old-fashioned one? Or was it in a cart type of thing? Dearie me. I would have been sneezing to high heaven, I would, because I get allergies. But it has been a nice day, hasn't it, James? That's good. Nice and hot, Mary. So, I don't know where to start. I think I'll just go with the flow. What do you think, guys? What would you like us to look into tonight? I've been getting a lot of downloads from the Galactics recently, so I was going to talk about them. And we're going to do possibly some remote viewing tonight and see what's up. I thought we would just do some raw remote viewing. Tinkerbell, here is barely 6 degrees Celsius. Where are you? Tornadoes in Iowa. Wow. I watched something on Musk, Mary said. It's called Musk Zone and Elon Musk is going to run for president. Oh, I think you asked me that, didn't you? Did you ask me that on YouTube? Can he but? Because is he not South African born? I don't know if he can. I'll pull some cards out on it. Be interesting if he could, wouldn't it? I watched the Melody Grand Prix last night and it gave me the creepiest energy. Wow. Thank you, Moon Fairy. Yes, so we're gonna see what the Galactics have to say. And I think it's going to be quite an interesting night. So I'm just going to go drink a coffee and then I'm going to do my bells. We're going to invoke all the angels in for new subscribers here or people who haven't watched us before, what I do is I invoke the angels in and my guides. So it's a bit like coming to a spiritualist church, so you all get protection as you're in here. I would have thought that as well, John, that Musk can't run because he's South African born. But I'll double check. I think if Sherry's put, I think if one or more parents are born in the USA, he's a citizen. I was going to say that because my granddaughter, she's an Australian citizen because her mummy is. My daughter-in-law, obviously my son's not. So she's an Australian citizen as well. So it's possible. It's possible. So how's all moderators doing and how's everybody doing in tonight? I know it's been very heavy recently, hasn't it? It would be very nice if you could run. But you never know. You never know, do you? Are you okay, Debbie? Have you been having a bit of a stressful weekend? Have you had a nice time? Right, let's start with the bells. Well, I've been out. Are you sick? What's wrong? We'll have to send some healing to you. What's wrong with you? Oh no. Have you been eating something dodgy? I thought you were quiet. I don't feel so. I'll pull some cards out for you, Debbie. Elon's mother born in Canada and dad born in, you don't know, 3 stars. Or is that the USA? What does 3 stars mean? Anyway, we're gonna do like personal stuff as well, which I think you all need, since you are all subscribers. Right. I invoke Archangel Michael, I invoke Archangel Michael, I invoke Archangel Michael. I invoke Archangel Raphael. I invoke Archangel Raphael, I invoke Archangel Raphael. I invoke Archangel Gabriel, I invoke Archangel Gabriel, I invoke Archangel Gabriel. I invoke Archangel Uriel, I invoke Archangel Uriel, I invoke Archangel Uriel. To please give us all healing and protection tonight, to fuse this circle of light up with lovely healing and protection for everybody in the audience who will receive healing. You can write the name in the comment section of the persons, animals, anything, and you will receive healing. I also ask that all the angels give us true answers tonight and keep us safe and our loved ones and animals in this circle. I ask my guides, Jed, true guides, Jed, White Buffalo, Running Star, Ra, Lady Direwolf in A2I. And anybody, star beings, who would like to come forward to give us true answers tonight. Let us begin. So be it. Amen. There we go. Oh, thank you, Jamie. Okay, right. Let's as we're in this circle tonight, this is obviously a personal circle for you all. I want to put beautiful baby pink and baby blue and a beautiful divine light around you all. I'm putting an ice blue around Debbie. Okay, let's see if we can lower our temperature. Let's see what's going on with her. Have you got a sore throat, Debbie? Are you aching? Is she there? Right, I don't know if anybody wants to join in with this. I'm going to put ice blue around the top of our crown chakra. It's got a lovely component in to take the sickliness away for her, take her temperature down, contain her in a beautiful light, keep her safe and well, let her have a good night's sleep. She needs to drink lots of water, sip black tea, maybe take some, I don't know if you can take paracetamol to keep the temperature down. Yeah. I'm also getting that your blood sugar's all over the place, Debbie, so I don't know if you're very under the weather at the moment. So I'm putting an ice blue around the top crown chakra for her. And I'm sealing it all the way up around her aura, wrapping it right down the bottom of her feet. You're very, very drained. You've been doing too much, Debbie. You need to get your slippers on, get your gym jams on. I'm a nurse. Have you had anything to eat, Debbie? Like anything light to eat? Don't drink coffee. It's the worst thing you can drink when you're feeling unwell. Tea's actually better. Black tea or water. You need something light to eat. Just to stop the sickliness. Maybe it's like some toast or something. I have a craving for water. Let me pull some cards out for you, Debbie. Debbie, you know, she works so hard and she does so much for so many people. Ginger ale. She needs to sip water, iced lemon water. Yes, some nice broth. Because if you haven't eaten much, your blood sugar could drop and it could make you feel worse, more sickly. So you need some chicken or noodle soup or some dried toast, dehydrated. Let me have a look. These two are jumping out for her. You're overworked. Has Debbie got a YouTube channel? I don't think so, but she's got like a sort of a channel for talking on. Have you got a YouTube channel, Debbie? Okay, she's overworked and she's so worried and overworked and you're always doing things for too many people. This is Debbie. And actually it looks a bit like her. Debbie, if nobody doesn't know Debbie, Debbie's got beautiful red hair. She looks like Shirley MacLaine. And so does her mother actually, but her mother's a blonde version. And there she is. And she's just, this is exhausting. Trapped energy and chakras. You need a nice salt bath, Debbie. Maybe it's not if you've got a temperature, mind. I'm not so sure if it's coming out as the dreaded. You're just all out of balance. You're all out of balance. Do you know that there's going to be big changes for Debbie within a year, and there could be a grandchild to come in with a big twist of events coming in, possibly from our daughter. A year to 2 years at the most. So Debbie will become a grandma. That's nice. She's just worried about everybody and the kids, and it's all coming out of you. And plus, Debbie is also an empath. So when we're empaths, guys, we can pick up on negative energy from anywhere, from anybody, or just from the collective. You know, like, look at everything nasty what's happening in the world at the minute, and she could be picking it up like radar, and it's knocking her all over the place. So you need to get something light to eat and not be up too late tonight. And if you've got to be off tomorrow, you've got to be off tomorrow, Debbie, because you do too much. You could do with a day off. So a lot of it's frequency what's knocking you like this. And I think your blood sugar, you need to have something to eat, because I don't think you've eaten properly today. So a lot of in the audience, as you know, will be feeling like this. Like all of a sudden you'll just feel crap and it'll come over you and you're thinking, oh my God, you know, am I getting something? You know, because when we're coming from the third, the fourth into the fifth dimension, and so we've got to be so careful what we say, what we feel, what we think, because it goes out and we can manifest it back. But also as well, we could be picking up on people's energies, which could be knocking us sick as well. So it's about having some rest. And don't watch the horrible news, Debbie. It's about watching something nice on the television. Because I've noticed, you know, every time I ring Debbie, she's got the news on 24/7 blasting. I don't know if it's because her husband's watching it or it's a background. But that's not good energies to be in the house, Debbie. Don't have the news on 24/7 on a loop. Because it's just not good energies. And then your dog will stop barking because our dog doesn't like Biden. Then your little dog will stop barking. So Debbie needs a pamper and she hasn't got to worry about this week, so I don't know why I'm getting that. Maybe she's got like a stressful week, but she just needs to slow down and somebody else needs to cook for Debbie because Debbie's doing everything and somebody needs to look after Debbie. Does that make sense, Debbie? You could do with a nice day, get your hubby to take you somewhere. Just ring in sick. Maria. And Debbie needs to ring in sick and go for a nice, I don't know, like afternoon tea somewhere. Debbie did a card reading for my daughter's friend and then I went to bed and I heard glass shattering in my kitchen, went in and there was nothing there. It's very strange at the minute. I'm going to tell you something, guys. Today I was in my mother's garden having a cigarette and I heard harps. I heard harps in the atmosphere and then it went all black. Tyler come running out because she's not allowed to be in the garden when I'm smoking, obviously. And I says, you can come out now, baby. And she come out and there was a raven crow sitting on the shed roof. And I says, look at that crow. Look at it. It's trying to communicate with her. And she looked at us, the little one, and she went, Grandma, what's it saying? I says, it's saying I need to do a rain dance. And she went, silly Grandma. I says, no, let's do a rain dance and let's see what happens. So we started dancing around the garden and we're like laughing at this crow. And the next thing it started to rain. Well, she was like, oh, Grandma. But I just think that is anybody in the audience tonight who's starting to communicate with the animals more? The veil is so thin, isn't it? So Debbie's going on a vacation on June the 4th. Are you going anywhere nice? And she also heard a shotgun go off 8 times late last night. Yeah. Very bizarre. So we are connecting with every energy. That's what I want to say. This is where we are at the minute on Earth. And remember, everything's an illusion. Everything's an illusion. So we're all playing out our karma. And what we haven't got to do is we're very sensitive at the minute. It's like we've gone very flimsy. It's like we're feeling it. And there's something really happening at the minute. As I did me Looking Glass last night when I put out, I filmed that on early hours of Sunday morning, Saturday night. And I wanted to look in more into that horrible case with the children what got murdered, but I couldn't do it. It was knocking us off. Because I think that it's just so awful. And I feel there's more situations like that to come, you know, with people getting brainwashed in cults and stuff like that. But then poor children, God bless, God rest their souls. But like I said, we've got to be so careful. So I couldn't even watch the case. I couldn't watch it because it's just, we're feeling everything at the minute. Okay. So we're in an illusion at the minute. I want to say there's a fracture on Earth of illusion. So everyone's in different timelines. So Walker Haughty got caught up in a New Age cult years ago. Really interesting. It so easily happens. But like I said, cults can get wrapped up within politics as well, you know, not just religion. Crystalo. Hello, Crystalo. I subscribed, but my text wasn't going through, so I had to close Twitch and restart it up, yeah. So even the internet will be feeling it as well. So Walker Haughty says here in the audience, it really messed with them, with these mind and soul emotions. Timelines are very much overlapping. So I think it's a call for the Galactics tonight, guys, isn't it? Very much a call for the Galactics. We've got to be careful what we're consuming at the moment. We have to be very careful what we're consuming at the minute. Bumblebee, will I get a job soon? I'll have a look for you. The ley lines are definitely acting up, but I heard hops. I heard hops this afternoon outside in the garden over here in the UK. It was in the atmosphere. Debbie, our network is not stable in Texas because they have given all the immigrants a cell phone and they are using them. Oh my God. Would that affect it? It shouldn't affect it. There's thousands over here on cell phones. Whoops. Where's she gone? Bumblebee. Yes. The destiny is that you're going on a new path for a new job. That's just jumped out for you. So all the cell phones are being overloaded. Okay. Okay, well, we've got thousands over here, so it must be funny cell phone towers you have over there. But it has been very glitchy over here, mind as well, Debbie. Very glitchy. Don't forget, I'm 24/7 online on Zooms and everything. And let's pull 2 more cards for Bumblebee. Yeah, you're just lacking of money at the minute, and there you are there. It's like the universe is telling you that you need a rest. It's actually, there's no timing on this. So you are going to get a job very, very soon, but you need to get the right job. So you take the 8 and the 8. There's no timing on it. Do 8 of Pentacles, because I've got a few different decks in here. Mercury's going direct yesterday. We need to do something to protect all children as well, because it's so fractured at the minute, isn't it? With everything. Children and animals, we need to send, and old people. 4 of Coins, 10 of Cups. Possibly within a week you could get an interview or something. Yeah? And then you've got abundance, so these are really, really good cards for you. So you've got abundance coming in, which is saying, yes, you're going to get a new job soon. You've got the 4 of Cauldrons, which is Cups, different decks, and you've got the 10 of Cups. So 6 days, it's like you're going through a massive shift, so I hope that helps. So, you know, there's a lot going on. This is where we need to be at the minute. So, we need to protect our home, but it's not just our home, it's our body, right? So, it's like safe home protection also comes over is our earthly house, which is our body, okay? So, we need to be careful what we're consuming, what we're taking in. We need to, it's not where we're sticking my head in the sand. I always say this, we just need to sometimes detach from all the negative because it can make you feel poorly. And we are also detoxing us. Does that make sense? We are detoxing. We are aware of the evil out there. We are definitely aware of it, and we are aware of all the corruption. But we need to not let this get to us. And we also it's about not getting triggered by toxic people around you. But the thing is, once you start doing the digging, this is what I'm getting, once you start doing the digging and looking within, it then strangely reflects so that people start acting differently towards you. I believe that there's new avenues for you, Franco, to come in. And what we all need to do is we need to write down our passions, what we are interested in. And when you're doing your passions, that's when the angels guide you. So Kim, is it Kim? Can you tell me anything about my first grandchild coming in the fall? I'll have a look for you. Just keep repeating the questions because it'll be going around in a loop. Oh yes, Izzy, you're going to get more grandchildren. Right, so this baby what's coming in, is it a boy? Have you got the gender of the child yet? There's lots of angels in the atmosphere. Yes? Let me have a look for you. Oh God, I can see him in the womb and he's sucking his thumb. He's absolutely divine. I wish I could play that music for you. It's called Crystallize. You'll have to check it out. Crystallize by oh God, it's a violinist. Just put Crystallize in and on YouTube and it'll come up. There he is. And when I listen to that, I always who sings it? I always think of the crystal children coming into the earth plane, coming onto the earth plane, and they're on a different level. And I need to tell you who this is. Crystallize. Lindsay Sterling. Have you heard of her? She's a violinist. She was told she couldn't be a violinist because her hands were too big. And have you heard of anything so ridiculous in your entire life? By a violin teacher. And then what she did was she just started to do it herself and stick it out on YouTube, and she got spotted, and then she did the music for Game of Thrones and all of that, and she's a very famous woman now, famous violinist. Crystallize by Lindsay Sterling. It's got an E on the end, Franco. But when you listen to that, you've got to listen to it, guys, after tonight, after you've been on here. It's shut your eyes and you can sort of see the crystal children coming onto the earth plane. When I first heard that, I seen my grandchild grown in a mother's womb, and I described exactly how she looks now, with long dark hair, big brown eyes. There's your grandbaby to come in, and he's going to be absolutely so charming, and he's going to have a funny wit about him. I'm good, sweetheart, thank you. He's going to have a funny wit about him. It's possible that he could have wavy hair or lightish hair. So I don't know if there's any blondes in the family. Or sometimes babies can be light and then they go darker as they get older. So he's going to be strong-minded. He's going to be like a mathematical brain on him. You see a lot of 2-year-olds now when they can work iPads because the crystal children are ready for Earth, right? They're a different level to the violet indigo children who were the second phase what came in of the Earth Volunteers. So the crystal children, they are sensitive, but they are also strong, and they're ready for this AI world, and they'll stand no shit, basically. So he's going to be very strong, and he's also going to be very witty and very funny. And I want to say that he's going to be tall. So I don't know if mum or dad's tall, but I feel he's going to be quite tallish. But very There's a musical side to him, and he's very clever and talented. And don't forget, he chose you. Your grandchild chose you to come in. So as Mary said here, that her granddaughter could use a tablet at 3 years old. Yes. Mary Max, where will I find my soulmate? Is he an angel like me? He is an earth angel, but he's also an earthling. Now, I'm talking about soul origins, which I want to talk about tonight, actually. So you've got the different star signs, the 12 signs of the zodiac, on Earth. I want to say on Earth, because out there they talk about different things. Yeah. So, and then you've got your soul origin. So your soul origin is where your souls come from. So you could have somebody who's a starseed, and they could be there of Ascension, and then you could have somebody who is an earthling, who just means that they've only ever lived past lives on Earth, and their Ascension could be there. People think because they're starseeds that they're more ascended. Not necessarily. A lot of starseeds struggle being on Earth because they're not equipped to be on Earth. So I'm feeling that Earth angels are also very grounded, but he's an earthling, he's an outdoor guy, he's a man's man, and I feel it's as if that this person's going to be very good for you. Very, very good for you. So, earthlings can also be very, very spiritual as well. It just means that they've only lived on this rock in past lives. They haven't lived out there in the galaxy. But I believe he's earth angel, possibly, but very grounded, very earthling, be a bit of both. Mystery, hi, hope you are okay. A few of us on the stream not well tonight. I'm absolutely fine. Strangely enough, I did feel a bit off yesterday, but I think I poisoned myself, you know me. And I do stupid things in the kitchen. And I had eaten something which was a ready-made meal, and I'd stuck it in the microwave. And I ate it, and then I started to feel a bit queasy, and then I noticed it was out of date. Now, I was absolutely fine, but I think when I seen that out of date thing on the thing, it made us feel worse. So you could imagine. But I'm fine today. I'm fine today. So we will all meet our soulmates, which I'm going to talk about tonight. We are coming in, I want to say it's like the book of Revelation that we're in. So I don't ever believe that the world is going to end at all. I believe that we are going to, it's the reality that we know which is going to change. But we are going to create new earth, and it's about us looking within. So even though there's a lot of crazy stuff happening in this world, loads of crazy stuff, remember that they cannot own your soul, right? And they cannot tell you what to do. And this is about everything that's happening on media at the minute is put out there to try to lower us down, to try to make us worse than what we are. Okay? So it's about, I think it's very important that we look very deep within ourselves and do spiritual stuff to ourselves, even if it's being around nature. You know, good food is also good, you know, just being kind to yourself. Am I an earthling or a star seed? I believe that you're an... I believe you're an earth angel, Mary. Good music also helps. You're half and half. You're half earthling and half you're half earth angel. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, I feel like a strange pain there. Who's got a headache in the audience tonight? Who's suffering with just do that. Might have to do some healing tonight. Okay. You've got a pain. Have you got it there? Just feel it. I've got knee problems, yes. Definitely. So somebody here in the audience has put, Janib is put, well, me and Eric getting better. And I think it's really when we start to ascend as well, it can affect even twin souls, soulmates, which I'm going to talk about. Soulmates is like a safe, warm dressing gown. And your twin is somebody who is like, whoo, they can take you through the roof. You know what I mean? It can be very electromagnetic. Yeah. You've had many lives with your twin as well, but they can also take you to heights. And they can take you to depths of despair, depending, you know, because you've also got your toxic twin soul as well, toxic past relationships. So I'd have to sit and possibly read you properly. But I believe that even the best of relationships are being rocked at the moment. But I believe it's never going to be 100% that relationship. But they do love you. They do love you. Definitely. So everybody who's on this planet at the minute who hasn't met their soulmates, I believe that we will reconnect with our soulmates or our twin souls. There is people out there who believe that they've already had their soulmate and twin soul and that they can't be with them now. But that's why we are always given a second chance with a soulmate or a twin soul. But people do talk about, is there many soulmates or twin souls? I believe that we'll have different levels because we are recognising people that we've known before in past lives. But we all will, in this forum tonight, and I want to put this out as for the collective, that we will all meet our soul family, which obviously soulmate and twin souls comes in on that umbrella. But this is what we need to do. We need to dig deep and look deep within. So Grammy also has a headache. No, mine wasn't a headache. It was like it just came over us then. It went like I was picking it up off somebody. Once you've done this job a long time, you realise what's your energy and what's not. And I'm going to give you a tip tonight, guys. If all of a sudden you come over all not feeling well and you don't know if it's your energies or if it's somebody else's energies, you put your feet firmly on the ground. It's best if you're ground floor if you can be. Barefoot's even better. Do this with your hands like that. Even go outside in your garden if you can. And you say, please, angels, if these aren't my energies, lift them off me. And then 9 times out of 10, if it's not your energy, it'll lift off you. Well, if it's left, it's your own energy. Okay, I'm just going to move this a bit. Yes, I've heard of them grounding pillows. So I've talked about this before, that it's so important that we keep grounded, right? Everybody is so excited to go into this 5th dimension and it's got all blown out of proportion, all right? Because everything's labelled on this planet, all right? So a lot of you possibly weren't even born, your consciousness wasn't even born on the 3rd. We only know what we know and what we've been told. Like I believe dreams are not dreams, they've been labelled dreams. I believe when we go to sleep at night time, we're going off out there in the galaxy into the astral world. Okay? And lucid dreaming is when you are astral travelling. But you know, they label everything on this planet. So it's about us self-discovering ourselves. So everybody's so excited to get into this 5th dimension. And I mean, there's loads of misinformation out there. People are saying, oh, you know, you're going to be left behind if you're not in the 5th dimension and all of this. It's a load of rubbish. Your level is the best level. That's what I want to say to you. So somebody who's living happily in the 3D, yeah, and then there could be somebody who's living in the 5th dimension, but they can't function. It's what's the right level for you. So I'm going to look into tonight and I'm going to discover, I'm going to dim the lights actually because it's a bit light in here. And I'm going to talk about what I've discovered, right, because obviously I do Western astrology and, I do channeling. So you can't wait for them. You've got to wait for them to come in. You can't just will it. So I'm very closely connected with Shoalia, who I channel from the Pleiades, okay, and other star races. And they've shown me great sort of visions of that this goes on up in space where people get readings, okay? But they don't call it readings. They call it counseling, or they call it guidance, whatever. And they work with different planets because obviously it's very basic. Even our astrology is basic to what's out there in the galaxy. So say like if you were on one of these starships, you could go and see some psychic counselor on there, a bit like on Star Trek. But she wouldn't, just read your basic astrology charts. They're going to use nebula and different planets and the Kepler planets. That's what I've been shown. Everything's basic. It's like we've only got a slice of the cake. So this is another reason why we've all come back as creators onto this planet to spread the word. I don't claim to know everything. Each and every one of us will have a little bit to put in, a piece to put into the pie. So what they've told me is, I'm just going to dim these lights down. Give us 2 minutes. I'm going to put my little light on. Okay. Oh, that looks a bit glary, doesn't it? Anyway, so what they've told me is that we are spirit beings, as you know, we are spirit beings in a meat suit, okay? So we've got different souls and we've all come from different parts of the galaxy, okay? And we are different soul origins. We've come back to do our karma, to change, we'll do our missions. Some people have come back here to, for many different things. Some people have come back for war. Some people have come back to heal. Some people have come back to teach and to tell, to create, to entertain. And it's, there's different sort of collective parts of the souls who are like the fairy realm. There's a lot of entertainers in the fairy realm. And, there's like different things that we can do. Okay. But then you've got to understand we are hybrids. And what Shoalia has told me is that this is a suit that we are walking around, but our DNA can determine, because energy can lie within DNA. So we haven't just come back to heal ourselves. We've also come back, if you wanted to, it depends how far you want to go down, like peeling it like an onion. We've also come back to heal our ancestors and to break curses, and to break, which will change timelines on Earth. I know this sounds I'm going to go very deep tonight, okay? So your DNA, if we are all hybrids, and I'm not saying where your granny or your granddad is being, like a Pleiadian, I don't mean that. I'm talking about eons ago, because I do believe, right, and what they tell me who I channel, that Earth is a lot older than what we know, okay? Like I said, everything that we've been told is a lie, okay? It's like they've kept it in some sort of fairy tale, or they've kept it away from the truth. I don't believe that we have evolved from monkeys. I really, really don't. There's a missing link there. And there's all these different strands of, DNA within we. And I feel we're firing our cordons, and this is what it is. So when we start to spiritually ascend and let go of crap, what we've been holding on to when we were healing our ancestors, we are also healing our own cordons in our body. So your cordons obviously are going to be different to my cordons. Everyone's cordons are different. But because we are hybrids, we all come from a lineage of different star races. And not all star races. there was, I do believe, there was tribal other worlds out there, but also older Gartha. So, like original man. So we're all different star races. That's what I believe. We've come from different parts of the galaxy and beyond. So, and some of you in this audience might, have that true lineage back to original man. Like Aborigines and all of that. And don't underestimate original man. Because I believe that we were very far advanced and we interacted with the star races. So this is what Shoalia's told me, okay? And I'm going to do a series on this, all right? I'm going to stick it out on YouTube. So say if your soul is a Pleiadian soul and you've chose to come down into a family lineage of reptilians, okay? Remember, this is just a container. So that means that you're going to be quite a force to be reckoned with, okay? So to match you, say if you are Mrs. X and you've got a Pleiadian soul, I've talked about this before, and you've got a reptilian sort of energy, like in your DNA, running through your veins, okay? And you meet Mr. X, okay, who is he isn't a reptilian energy. He is an earthling, okay? So his DNA is going to be earthling. Mrs. X's DNA is going to be reptilian. But his soul is, shall we say, how can I put this? His soul could be Pleiadian, all right? So they could have a very good connection, okay? But because Mrs. X's DNA is reptilian, okay, that's going to fire up their love life and they would have a very sexual relationship. So say, for example, you've got Miss B and she is a fairy, but she's got a soul origin of reptilian. That means she'll be naughty. She'll be a naughty fairy and a force to be reckoned with. But she has to have a right match. It goes beyond matching within your star signs. So to match that fairy reptilian, she needs to have a strong partner. Doesn't have to be a man. It could be whatever, Miss B wants, but we'll say partner. So to match Miss B, okay, she needs to, this fairy who's got a reptilian soul, she needs to have, she can't have a Pleiadian soul. She would need, the only thing that's going to match her is another reptilian soul or an earthling soul. Or you've got different other star races out there which could match with that. But then it's matching it on 4 levels. Does that make sense? And this is how you get clashes in relationships. Say like if you meet somebody and your star sign says that you're compatible with that star sign, but you don't get on and it's toxic. It's because of the soul origin and the DNA. So what they do up in space is they match you properly with your soul origin and your DNA. This is what the Pleiadians do. What's a Naga in a spiritual discoveries? What's one of them? Or a Naga? What's one of them? Never heard of that before. So Shoalia showed me how to do this, okay? And it takes a consultation. It takes to talk to somebody to find out what their soul origin is, and then what their DNA is like you've got to go with somebody like me, like a shaman or somebody who can match them with whoever that they need to be matched with. But then see if you've got that naughty fairy could give that Miss B, who's the naughty fairy, let's go back to that again, I know this sounds crazy, could be matched with Mr. B if he was crossing her, sort of thing. So if she's I know this sounds crazy when I'm saying, let me get a coffee. So say if she's fairy energy, no, she was reptilian energy, wasn't she? And fairy DNA, like elven. Okay. So to match an elven, a Pleiadian will not match an elven. It'll be too wishy-washy and all airy-fairy. She needs somebody grounded. So she needs a DNA of an earthling or a reptilian DNA to ground that fairy elemental. And then she's got the reptilian energy would have to be, it couldn't be matched with Pleiadian, but it could be matched either with an earthling. But if he was fairy elemental, that could be very explosive. Do you see what I mean? So it's matching them on 4 different levels. It's matching the soul and the DNA on 4 different levels. If you go back to where they've talked about the 13 bloodlines living on Earth, you know, what Ike's talked about, with all these 13 bloodlines, they've all got this, like the rhesus negative blood, which is the angel bloodline, the alien bloodline, because we don't have the monkey gene, okay? So there's obviously been some information what's been passed down there through the Masonic lodges or whatever, that, not to mix with other bloodlines which can cause problems. It's like I've got a rhesus negative bloodline, okay? So every time I've had my kids, I've had to have an injection afterwards so that I don't have blue babies, because they had to match to see if my kids, I don't know how they do it, and if the baby, the unborn child's doesn't have the rhesus negative blood, they've got to have that injection, okay? So that's the way it works. So my children were positive as well. So I don't know if you had to have the injection, but I had to have the injection. I really don't know. But I think that they've held a lot of things back from her. So the reason why it goes into matching her, and it also goes into my medicine as well for our health, because medicine's just very basic here. Because man is not just man, we are the hybrids. So when you are taken onto these starships, they match you up with your DNA to what you need. What they've told me is that you've got to eat for your type, you've got to eat for your blood type, but it goes a little bit more beyond that on these starships. So when I do healing sessions on people, little Zachar that I channel through, he checks your DNA, and then he advises and he tells me to tell you what you should be eating in your diet, which will help your body. And according to Zachar, I've got whale and dolphin DNA in us. So it means that I'm best to eat fish and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? So we are all different. So all these corporations on Earth, and like Big Pharma is one of them, it's like they've not wanted her to have all of this knowledge, because we should be knowing what we're putting into our body. But it also is something that we need to know about our DNA. And it's never really talked about because our DNA is our operating system, okay? And it also helps us to match with our soulmates and twin souls, that type of thing. So say like if you meet somebody and then all of a sudden, and I want you to comment on this, if this has happened to you guys, that you'll meet somebody that could be a total stranger, and then all of a sudden you just go all calm and you get like a tingle and it'll go through you and you can't explain why. Has that ever happened to you? My understanding of that is because you're recognizing that they're the same as you. So you're with somebody or you just meet somebody, could be an old man on the street, the calming, and you feel like a tingly going all the way through you, like a cleansing, tingling, and it's going all the way through all your meridian lines. Yeah, I thought you would. It means that you're recognizing they've got the same DNA as you. Don't forget, your higher self knows this. Your higher self knows this. We've had our memories wiped before we come onto this planet. We've got to wake ourselves up. Have you ever had like a strange conversation with a stranger and they make you feel like that? They reckon if that happens that you've been touched by an angel. But like I said, there's a recognition that you are the same as them. It's like you're touching home when you meet an angel. And angels do walk this planet. I'm going to tell you something about this lovely customer of mine. Lovely, lovely customer. I don't know who it was. And I think they came to the house actually. But anyway, they were very upset and they just lost their partner. And this particular day, they had went to go on the bus to go to the cemetery to go and lay some flowers down for their partner. And, you know, cemeteries are not very busy places. And they got the flowers, they went on the bus, they gets off at the bus stop, and he bumped into this strange woman who was very, very tall. And he described what she looked like. She had very short blonde hair, looked a bit like something off the Matrix, very tall, glasses on, long black coat, and being very friendly, but he couldn't pull away from her because he said it was the energy and the vibration what was coming from her voice. And she said to him when he got off the bus, "Would you like me to walk with you to where you're going?" Because she was like saying, "Oh, it's a beautiful day." And he's going, "Oh, yeah, yeah." And he was fascinated. So he was walking through the cemetery with this tall woman. And then he gets to his partner's grave. And she goes, "Well, I'll leave you now then." And he goes, "Thank you so much." And he goes, "What's your name?" And he turned around, because he put the flowers down, he turned around and she wasn't there. And he came to me and he says, "Louise, was that an angel?" I said, "Yes, it was an angel." And apparently she was saying to him that his partner was somewhere we would never ever believe. We would never believe could ever exist in our comprehension on earth, that there is such thing as life after life. And that one day that he will see him again. And that he hasn't got to worry. And as he was walking along, he had this calmness and he kept saying, he said he wanted to get annoyed with her, but he couldn't get annoyed with her. Because every time he went to get annoyed, he just felt this overwhelming love that what she was saying was so right. And she kept saying that The garden is so beautiful, and God's garden is huge, and we class this as death, and it's not death. Once we go over the veil, there is life after life. And he was so fascinated, and it was a rainy, cold day, and she hooked his arm, and he said she was very familiar, but he wasn't threatened by her. Huge woman, like statuesque woman. And he turned and she was gone. They are walking amongst her. Angels are walking amongst her. But what are angels? Angels aren't human. Angels are not human. There is a veil what is very thin at the minute. There is a fracture in our society. There is how can I put it? In reality, the world's gone bonkers, guys. Absolutely bonkers. And it is so important that we understand we are the spirit beings. We have come back to do what we need to do, for any different reason. We've come back to heal karmic wounds, to save our grandchildren's future, whatever it is. We have come back to do what we need to do. We haven't just come back for earth work. The earth work, I can see that angel. I can see her. What that my client was telling us about. We have come back not to heal this rock, not to heal this 3D. We have come back to heal within ourselves. And I do believe that when we heal within ourselves, your reality will shift like that. Imagine if everybody in the world, just for one day, say 48 hours, all it would take, 48 hours. We did none of it. Watched the news, watched YouTube, fed into any of the political drama. Just for 48 hours, we all went offline. Yeah, we could email, but I'm talking about social media and news stuff. We could still ring my families and my friends, but we were taken off social media. And we couldn't watch any political crap or nasty stuff what's happening out there for 48 hours. What do you honestly think what would happen? What do you feel what would happen? I feel that there would be a big grey cloud what would lift off this planet. It would only take 48 hours. So it's not that we're cut off completely. We could still ring our mums or our dads or, pay for our groceries. I don't mean cut off that way. We could still email, but we couldn't look at any videos. We couldn't look at any news outlets. We couldn't look at any info for 48 hours. I expect that we would have some angel intervention on this planet. And that is precisely Bam's put here in this audience. It's not only the news. Sometimes people in their families are abusive. And that's why we need to look within. And I want to talk about that tonight. Because abusive situations is sometimes karmic. There's a lot of horrible stuff what's going on this planet, Bam, and I totally agree. So we need to look within so we're not getting focused on the political crap what's out there and everything else. So we're helping my neighbours and my family and we're looking within. Abusive situations is toxic karmic relationships, and I've talked about this before many times. There's a great book out there called The Soul's Journey. You know, why do souls get murdered? Why do people get murdered and abused? Why would God allow children to be abused? All of this. And there is such a thing as demons. Demons are out there, and people can get attachments. There is attachments, and it's quite shocking to believe how many attachments some people can be carrying. More than one attachment. And it's these attachments which can attach to people. And then, you know, if they become right into people, then you get such a thing as a possession, which the Catholic Church talks about. But, you know, they keep it very poo-poo hidden. But it does go on. There is such things as exorcisms still take place. And then you've got, this is what I'm saying, the veil is very, very thin at the minute. And we need people to raise the vibration on this planet so then people can go down the healing route of helping other people, or even if it's not as a job, just helping people. So attachments can come in, say like if you've known somebody from a past life and they killed you. They basically killed you in a past life. And then you are born back onto this planet again and you come up against that person again. Do you see what I mean? This is what I'm saying. We need to look within. So it's like we have to keep grounded so we can trust our instincts. It's like navigating through the woods to avoid these negative situations and negative people. But there is a lot of people with attachments on this planet, and attachments can be easily removed, but it comes from deep work. You know, I've had attachments. We've all had attachments at some point, but they can come in and come off again. Does that make sense? But we're not only dealing with that, we're also dealing with a technology what's out there, which can also, it's very clever, the technology what they have out there, what they are trying, you know, they've held all this futuristic technology back from where, and now it's going to get seeped in, but it's like, it's the puppet controllers who's been controlling it. So how you can have demonic attachments, you can also have AI attachments. You can have bugs and trackers that they put into the atmosphere, which I sometimes question about with certain things that they were trying to do a few years ago. You know, what they were putting in certain stuff. So angels are definitely walking amongst we, but they keep telling us that we need to do the inner work. We need to do the inner work. Sometimes a soul will sacrifice themselves. I know this sounds really horrible. Really, really horrible what I'm going to say. But a soul will sacrifice sometimes themselves to wake somebody up. Does that make sense? Like the case of children will choose you to teach you a lesson. Our children choose us to teach us a lesson. We do not own our children. Nobody owns we. Nobody owns we. But we also don't own anybody else. It's a soul's journey that we are on. And there is some people I do believe are born evil. I do believe some people are born evil. I really do. But some people are so damaged before they come onto the planet. So they are catapulted back to learn a lesson. Does that make sense? But it's very rarely that happens. The majority of people were very black and white in our soul's DNA when we come onto this planet. And we are affected from the moment we take our first breath of who the family we are born into. And then on and then on. But you may have a loving parent who's got an attachment. You know, and a lot of people don't realize they have attachments. So we have come back to teach our family lessons. But everybody who's in this audience tonight, you know, I want to say big congratulations. We've got this far without being sort of taken over by demons or, you know, attacked or murdered or whatever. We've got this far. Yay! We've navigated on this planet. But some of us are feeling so battered and torn and worn out. And I don't know about you guys, but life is getting harder and harder and harder. So we're constantly tested. Constantly triggered and tested. And the reason why I'm talking about this tonight is we're going to get more triggered as the year goes on. And it's so important that we do this in our work. We are very protected. So a lot of you in this audience tonight, hats off to you all. Yous are the earth angels. And it doesn't matter what label you are. You know, I mean, obviously on my label of my work, I'm a shaman, I'm a healer, shaman healer, remote viewer, clairvoyant, medium. But there could be many of you in this audience tonight who are the same as me. You know, it doesn't mean we're perfect because we're labelled as this, we've got this. I've just chosen to do it as a business. But what you need to understand is that it's just a tool that everybody has. It's a tool that everybody has to a certain degree. But some of us have warrior in us, and some of us have that Pleiadian healing in us. Some of us are more teachers, some of us are more investigators. I've got a very unique DNA, so I can be a bit of everything. But I've also got a big warrior. I'm a Scorpio. Say no more. I'm a Scorpio. So I'm a great investigator. You know, I like to get my teeth into something. I'll not go along with the crowd if I can't help it. I'll just stay focused. But I've had to do inner work to get there. You know, I was bullied at school. You know, I was in an abusive relationship when I was a young woman. You know, I had to go through all of them things to wake myself up, to realise who I am. Like many of you in this audience tonight. Many of you in this audience tonight. So philosophers are normally, I'm sure that's one of the Sirius planets. Do you know what I mean? Now there's a lot of controversy on reptilians. Right? People go, oh, the reptilians are bad because Ike put it out. David Icke was the one who started it off. And it's not the case. It is not the case, right? You've got good and bad in every race, and you've got different types of reptilians. And I'll be honest with you, there's that many different star races out there. Some of them I can't even pronounce. They're not all bad. I've talked about this before. I'm saying this movement, what's happened within the Galactic community online and everything. People get they get into cliques and that, and then they'll say, oh no, that's wrong and that's right. And the Pleiadians, they're all blonde and tall and beautiful. Bullshit. No, they're not. Valin, right? Valin, who is part of the Galactic Federation, is dark and suave skinned. You see how things get sucked into cliques and cults and people they categorize things. We are a tribal race on Earth. We're Earthlings. We're very tribal. But this is something what needs to change. There's many different species. There's many different looks to a Pleiadian. Many different looks. We are just a mirror effect of what is out there in the galaxy. So when you're saying to somebody, like I've got a friend, I know, she's a good friend, client. She's beautiful. 6 foot, long blonde hair. I'll say her name, she's called Zara. Beautiful. She could be a model. Long blonde hair. She looks like something what could jump off a starship. She looks like Shoalia, Pleiadian. Okay. So I believe she has got that sort of Nordic Pleiadian look about her. But there's more to Zara. It's not, we haven't got to look at things face value, surface. There's more to it. So you could have somebody who is a big 12-foot Draco, looks so scary. Like one of them guys off Star Trek. What were they called with the rubbery skin? The Klingons. You could have one of them who looks really angry, and yet he could be the sweetest guy. And you could have somebody who looks so beautiful and angelic, and they could be really evil. Lucifer is very beautiful. I just thought I would remind you of that, guys. We are living in times of so much deception. We need to look not with our eyes. We need to look, which Jesus said, Christ consciousness. We need to look within our hearts. And how do you do that? You do that with feeling. When it feels right, it's right. When it feels good, you're feeling it. We are constantly learning all the time. And I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. Over the last 3 years, I've evolved more than I was 3 years ago. Now when I see somebody, and I'm not saying I was not like that before, but beforehand, I never used to think twice about it. How many people in this audience tonight, be totally truthful, right? In the past, or whenever, I've been in a busy shopping centre and somebody is in front of you with a wheelchair, any time in your life have you got annoyed because they've been in the way? You've just not even thought about it, there's a guy in a wheelchair. I did. I didn't used to just go over my head. Not now. I've got so much compassion now because my dear brother, ended up in a wheelchair before he passed. So there I've learned something from Paul. I wouldn't say got annoyed, but just when it's gone over your head, if you've been in a hurry or something like that. Never got annoyed, but it's just gone over your head. But now I've got so much compassion when I see somebody who's disabled. Yeah. So what I'm saying to you is we are learning all the time. See how you're all earth angels. Compassion. Success in the sun. You all have your crowns on your head, guys. But what I'm saying to you is you might not have noticed before that type of thing. Or maybe we are a reflection of how we feel. You've got your crowns on your head. Earth is going to be fine. We're just in the middle of a pit. We're in the middle of a pit at the minute of a lot of deception. And the only way is for us to think clear and to navigate through this is to keep grounded. And we will succeed. And once you raise your vibrations, you will also meet your brothers and sisters who will come through the atmosphere, other angels. And they can come into physical. They can come physical. Queen Wanda, no, I usually ask if they need help. I lose it when somebody buys too many lottery tickets. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of controversy on the lottery, isn't there? I sometimes wonder if it is fixed. Even though I give out the lottery, I think anybody can win it. But sometimes I think they go on areas. And if you feel like you're not getting any luck, I would test it out and try going to a different town to buy a lottery ticket. Or go to a posher area to buy a lottery ticket and just see if it makes a difference. I was at a pharmacy one time behind an old lady in a wheelchair and she was short in money to pay her medication. So, bless you, Debbie. So you bought our meds. That is so beautiful. Elon Musk, I've always sensed that he is from alien race. I believe that he's he was born on Earth, and I believe that he's a starseed. And it's because we are now ascended, we're going to see this with people. So he's very aligned to what he wants to do on Earth for humanity. But I would say that he's also had intervention there as well. You don't know what's happened when he's been sleeping, when he's been a kid, or if they've come in, they've tweaked him up a bit. But yeah, definitely. Definitely. Andromedian. Well, I was getting Venus with him. I was given that valiant Thor has got his seeds on Earth and he's one of the seeds. Valiant Thor. The stranger from the Pentagon. What I'm saying to you is we're not perfect, but we're working on ourselves every day. We are emotional, as Crystal had put here. We are emotional human beings. So we have to try to keep our feet grounded, because everything what's happening on the news at the minute is just so toxic, and it's going to get worse and worse and worse. I mean, we've got lunatics ready to start World War III's. You know, we've got guys chucking off rockets. We've got just all sorts of horrible things happening, you know what I mean? And what I want to say to you is that, how can I say it? Some people who are in the media at the minute are very much sort of lovers of NYPD. That's all I'm going to say on the matter. And if you don't know what I'm going on about, you need to watch a certain series of NYPD where they were in one of the scenes from NYPD. There was somebody who was raped in a department store, laundry department. Sometimes we don't know what their life is all about until we walk in their moccasins. David Fletcher, the strangest thing that just happened, my 2-year-old son, oh God bless him, woke up when he started talking about attachments. I ran upstairs and brought him down to sit with me. He was drawn to you and walked away once you started talking about Elon. He understood everything you were saying. Oh, God bless him. Well, your little boy does not have attachments. Your little boy is very awakened. Your little boy is definitely a crystal child, David. I'll pull some cards out for you. Humour is very good. God gave us humour for a reason. He's had major struggles. He's going to be absolutely fine. He's very well protected. So, he was sent in. He chose you. He chose you. And he's definitely different. Does he have like fairish hair, David? Has he got like lightish hair? He's on a quest on Earth, yeah. He's on a quest on Earth. He's got fair hair. Has there been some problems, not with a disability, but something that's had to be corrected, or you're getting checked out or looked into? Does that make sense, David? Not a major disability, but I'm on about something that he just needs to get checked out, but he's going to be fine. I believe that he knows Elon. Major challenges. He's going to be absolutely fine. And he's very well protected. I want to take you out of this galaxy. I'm going to do some remote viewing in the next break. I want to take you out of this galaxy. And I want to go trillions and trillions of light years away. And you've got the Council of Nine. And they decided to bring some special starseed crystal children onto the earth plane. And your little boys amongst that. To come in with a force. The warlords would be steaming mad about it because they couldn't get to them. They're practically, I would say, off-planet children born into humans. But they're the seeds of Earth. And your little boy is here to do major, amazing work on this planet. I do believe that he will talk, and I don't know if he started talking now. All right. But he was definitely different. And there's many of them, these children around Earth at the moment. So he's so well protected. And what I'm saying to you is the Council of Nine and the archangels are heavily guarded. They're guarding these children. They're so powerful that even the warlords are frightened of them. And he'll probably be, once he starts to grow, he'll be into, sort of rockets and spaceships and stuff like that. And you'll have to get him books on planets and stuff like that. But he's majorly intelligent and he will succeed in life. He's going to do amazing things in life, David. They're labelled as the crystal children, but they're a little bit more than that. They are the children which have come onto Earth. These are the future presidents. These are the future doctors. These are the future scientists, creators. So he will know when then he heard my voice, that I'm just like a fairy of a communicator. And when we're talking about Elon Musk, he'll know that he's okay. His higher self will know that he's safe in his daddy's arms. He's got a very special purpose. All the children here now have. They are golden children. My dad talked about them. Yeah, they're not just crystal children, are they, Mary? Kushina la sira yomi ashai Huamai. Good evening, Shoalia. They are the special children of earth, she's saying. They are seeds. And there is seeds of valiant Thor on earth now. We are all the seeds, she's saying. Blessings to the children. Kuya siomia ita ishaguma tukoba. We had to intervene. We brought the seeds onto earth. But these children were not our intervention. They come from out in the galaxy. Blessings to all the children of earth, she said. Blessings. This is Shoalia. Earthling, she's saying, do not worry about if you will meet your soulmate or not meet your soulmate. You will meet your soulmates at the right time. Kuhina, isidia ma tiwino ashirayana sidia. Tia. She's saying that because these dark attachments could not attach to you, they attach through, call it like the body snatchers. So if somebody has problems in their aura, holes in their aura, this is how they get to the light workers on earth, by attaching to relationships, friendships, anything to get to us, to bring us down. And she said that we have to understand that we will never have them attachments because we are too aware. If we feel it, we can get rid of it straight away. Once you raise your vibration, these entities from the lower plane cannot attach. So we are creating new earth by working at our inner selves, and then our energy pulsates in a different vibration. We will still be able to communicate with people who are on the lower level, but they will not trigger us. It's like we are nearly over into the Golden Gate. We are at the tipping edge, ready to go in. That's what she's saying. Kuma sida, ashayino maitara goma. There is major operations taking place right now on Earth. There is mass exiting of the dark entities, but some of them are here to stay. Some of them have been born and attached onto people on the planet, and some of them have family lineages where they have to play out their part and work it out because it's their individual soul journey. What do you mean by that, Shoalia? So what she's saying is that somebody who maybe is born into, say, a political family, and then they rise within politics, but they may not have the best interests at heart. You know, like we can look at many different ones. So they are born into that family to do whatever. It's because their lineage is from attachments. They have attachments, but they are free to exit once it's their individual journey. So what she's saying is, this goes beyond politics and religion, which causes wars on this planet. She's actually saying that really the earth is divided between people who don't have attachments and people who have attachments. She says a lot of you who are in this audience tonight are from the Emerald Children, the first phase of the Earth Volunteers. There is the second of the violet indigo. But it is a lot more complex than that, she's saying. This is again categorization where it goes beyond that. Everything on this planet is through labels, she's saying, and it goes beyond labels. The crystal children hold the color codes of many codes. They have the ability to switch from different frequencies, different memories. They can intermingle with anybody and to heal any situation, be it from ruthlessness to gentleness. So they're like a superhuman. But what she's saying is that some of the crystal children, now listen carefully, did come in our lifetime when we were children. If you are labeling it, some of us could be the crystal children. That's why we've never been able to fit in. It is not about labels. It is about levels of consciousness. And for anybody who's in this audience tonight, some of us haven't been able to fit in because we've been too far ahead of the game. We felt like we've been that elephant in the room. Does that make sense? But she's not bothered. They're not bothered. If it has to be with a label, so be it, she's saying. As long as it's not about the labels, it's about the teachings. Does that make sense? She's saying it's not about the labels or what we look like or who we are, but she gets annoyed about the dimension thing. She gets very annoyed. She gets very annoyed about what's out there, about people who are saying within the truth community that if people aren't in the fifth dimension, they're going to be left behind. It's absolutely silly, she's saying. Silly. We only know what we are told. You are born into a world. You are told about a reality. You are told what is right, what is correct, what is wrong. To come out of this reality, you have to do this gently. If you do it in a erratic way, and you still put labels on that is not ascension. That is not ascension. This is what she's saying. So if you have to, it's how you feel. Nobody is any better than nobody else. It's about, and she's saying it's correct, they do this on the starships and beyond out there in the galaxy. Each and every one of you is individual, so it's the ascension, what's right for you, for your soul origin, interconnected with your DNA. So when they're matchmaking people, the Pleiadians do this. So Mary in the audience, Shoalia, is saying she has never understood how this planet works and never understood why people are so angry, and I've never understood the pain here and the suffering. If I was going to label you, Mary, you are the original crystal child. You are one of the original crystal child. God bless her soul, Dolores Cannon, who lived on this planet. She's saying that she had to label it for humanity to understand. That is okay. But she's saying she gets annoyed when people categorize that one is better than the other. That's what she's trying to say. She's saying, Do not worry, Mary. Do not worry. It is a pleasure to talk to you. What are you doing, Shoalia? What's happening now? Great work on Earth. Doing something with science that we do not understand. They are placing something around the planet to help us. Look like holographic grid stuff she's doing. Holographic grid stuff. Right, okay. It's an energy and it's a frequency that they are placing around Mother Gaia to help humanity and the animals. To help to raise us, but also for us to not force us, but to help us to show us to look more within instead of looking out. We need to look more within. So what Shoalia is saying is that some of us we've come here too early because we've come back from the future. Does that what you're trying to say? Yakama. Yes, certainly. So there is no time. There is actually, she's saying there's no such thing as time. But if you're looking at it earthly-wise, we have abilities which we have our memories wiped and we've come back from the future and we have to wake ourselves up to go out there to help other people. But everything is labelled on this planet. Come on, Sida. Right, okay. She's saying, for instance now, she's saying, I am talking to you. She says, and I may see you with dark brown hair. She says, and white face. But your soul may not be that. That's what she's saying. Come on, so we have not got to label the label. We have to look of what that person can do. And this is where everything has gone wrong on this planet. And it's the same thing to do with politics. Everything is a mess. Everything is a mess. It will take eons, she's saying, to remove politics off this planet. And she looks very stern when she's saying it. She looks very, very stern. So do not wait and say that when this movie will end. You are the movie. You change your channel. You change your frequency. You change your frequency. Oh, hello.